Every guy thinks he knows how to compliment a woman. You're beautiful. You have a nice smile. You look amazing tonight. And while those lines might get you a polite smile, they won't make her heart race. They won't make her pause mid-scroll on your messages. They won't make her lie in bed, thinking about what you said, and wondering why it felt different from every other guy. Because here's the truth. Most men never learn. There's a certain kind of compliment that doesn't just get heard, it gets felt deeply, it bypasses the filters, skips the ego, and goes straight to the part of her that's desperate to be seen for who she really is, not just how she looks. And those compliments, they're rare. In fact, most men never give them. Not because they can't, but because they've never been taught how these compliments are what I call forbidden, because they're too powerful for the average man to use. Responsibly, they create instant emotional intimacy. They awaken the part of her that craves recognition beyond physical attraction, and they trigger an obsessive curiosity about you. Because the moment you say one of these forbidden compliments, you're no longer just another guy in her inbox. You become a man who sees her, a man who feels dangerous in the best way possible, a man she can't quite figure out, and that mystery makes her want you more. She'll replay what you said. She'll analyze your tone. She'll wonder if you meant more than the words themselves. And that's the point, because obsession doesn't come from what's obvious. It comes from what's felt but unexplained. And that's exactly what these compliments do. So if you're tired of blending in, tired of saying what every other guy says, and ready to tap into a deeper level of attraction that makes women think about you long after you've gone silent, this video is your playbook. I'm going to show you 3 forbidden compliments that instantly shift how a woman sees you. And when you use them with calm confidence and emotional clarity, you'll never have to chase again. She'll lean in, she'll open up, and she'll wonder where a man like you has been hiding all her life. Welcome to Stoic Paradox, the place where we don't chase validation. We create presence, where we don't use lines. We use language that moves people. And in today's world, flooded with fake confidence, cheap compliments, and recycled advice, this is your edge, because the truth is, attraction isn't built on how often you text her. It's not built on how expensive your cologne is. And it's definitely not built on the same 3 compliments every guy throws around without thinking. The compliments that make a woman obsess over you. They're not loud, they're not obvious, and they're not about her body. They're rare because they come from a rare kind of awareness, the kind of presence most men never develop. See, a lot of men think attraction is about proving you're good enough. They flex, they brag, they hope she notices, but the men who women remember, the men who enter her mind and don't leave, are the ones who say something that touches a nerve in her soul. Not because it's rehearsed, not because it's slick, but because it's true. And that's what today's video is about. Truth, the kind of compliments that don't just make her smile, they make her wonder how you see her that way, wonder why your words feel different, wonder what else, that other men don't. These compliments are not tricks, they're not manipulations. They're reflections of a man who sees beneath the surface and speaks from that place. And when you speak from that place, her walls drop. Her curiosity rises and her attraction deepens into something she can't explain, but she feels it in her chest. So if you're tired of feeling like just another guy trying to impress, and you're ready to become the man who speaks straight into her feminine core, stick around, because I'm about to give you 3 forbidden compliments that most men will never understand. But the man who does becomes unforgettable. Forbidden compliment number 1. There's something about the way you think it's rare. This is not your average compliment. It doesn't scream attraction. It whispers something more dangerous. Understanding you're not telling her she's hot. You're telling her she's intellectually magnetic. And for a woman who's used to being reduced to her looks, that lands like lightning. You see, most men operate on autopilot. They look at her face, her body, her outfit, and their compliments reflect that surface level, attention, basic praise easily forgotten. But when you go beneath the surface and say, there's something about the way you think it's rare, something unusual happens. She pauses. Her internal world flickers. She feels seen in a way she wasn't prepared for, because whether she's the quiet type, the firecracker, the deep thinker, or even the playful flirt, every woman secretly craves recognition that has nothing to do with her with looks. With this compliment, you're planting a seed in her mind, a whisper that suggests there's more to her than most people will ever notice, and because of that, you become more than just another guy giving compliments. You become a mirror, a puzzle, a man who sees her not for the performance but for the essence, and that's intoxicating. She'll start replaying your conversations. She'll try to figure out what made you say that, and the mystery of your perception will haunt her in the most addictive way possible. Forbidden compliment number 2. You feel safe to be around, not because you're quiet, but because you're real. Let's slow this one down in a world where women are constantly judged, sexualized, interrupted, and expected to perform emotionally, physically, and socially. The idea of emotional safety becomes not just rare, it becomes sacred. Most guys don't even realize how tense and guarded women are in social dynamics. And it's not their fault entirely. Society's conditioning plays its part. But when you come along and offer a compliment like this, it doesn't just flatter her, it disarms her. You're not saying she's passive. You're not complimenting her for being agreeable. You're telling her that her authenticity is what makes her powerful and that you feel safe in the presence of her truth. That kind of recognition, it cuts through all the noise. It tells her that you're tuned into something deeper than image. You're noticing the energy, the vibe, the groundedness she carries. And here's the twist by saying, she makes you feel safe. You're flipping the usual script. Most men are out here trying to prove they're safe. They're worthy, they're trustworthy, but you're subtly revealing that you're already whole, and you value presence, not performance that makes you emotionally rare. It shifts the dynamic. It builds instant emotional intimacy without trying to seduce her. And that's the paradox when you stop trying to seduce and start seeing she becomes seduced anyway by your calm, by your insight, by the strange comfort she feels around you, the kind she wasn't expecting. Forbidden compliment number 3, you're not like everyone else. And I don't mean that lightly, this one, it's dangerous in the best way. Every woman has heard some version of you're different. It's become almost meaningless. But when you say it the right way, slowly, directly, with intent, and back it up, with how you look at her, how you pause before the words land, everything changes. The magic isn't in the phrase. It's in the delivery when you say you're not like everyone else. And I don't mean that lightly. You're doing something bold. You're drawing a line in the sand. You're telling her that you've seen enough. People had enough conversations and been around enough energy to know when someone stands out. And she does. But the key here is restraint, confidence, stillness. When you deliver this line from a place of certainty, not desperation, it becomes more than a compliment. It becomes a frame that says, I've seen what average looks like and you're beyond that. And guess what? She won't forget it, because even if she doesn't fully believe you, even if part of her doubts it, she wants to believe it. And if your words match the way you treat her with depth, with curiosity, with emotional maturity, she'll start seeing herself through your eyes. That's where the obsession starts, not in the words themselves, but in the reflection. You offer, you've made her feel rare, you've given her identity, a twist, and now she's not just interested. She's hooked, she's intrigued, and she wants more. So let's rewind for a second. What just happened? Here wasn't a lesson in pickup lines. It wasn't a shortcut to fake confidence. It was something deeper, something most men overlook. You didn't just learn what to say. You learned why these compliments work, and it has nothing to do with charm. These 3 forbidden compliments, there's something about the way you think it's rare. You feel safe to be around, not because you're quiet, but because you're real and you're not like everyone else. and I don't mean that lightly, are magnetic because they target what women are starved for: recognition of the unseen, the things they hide, the depth they hope someone will notice, but almost no one ever does. You see, the real secret isn't in the words. It's in the way you deliver them, in your energy, your silence, your certainty, your restraint. Most men drown in noise, over-explaining, over-trying, overcompensating. But the rare few, the grounded few, they move slowly, they speak deliberately, they make their words matter. And when a woman hears one of these compliments from that kind of man, it cuts through every wall she's built. Because for a moment, she's not just a face, a figure, or a profile. She's a person, seen, felt respected, desired, not for her appearance, but for her essence. And that's what creates obsession. Now, if this resonated with you, if you're done playing the surface level game and ready to connect with women on a level that's magnetic, grounded, and unforgettable, then this is your invitation to subscribe. Because here on Stoic Paradox, we don't chase attention, we master presence, we don't memorize tricks, we sharpen awareness. Every video is crafted to give you the mental edge, not just with women, but in life, in leadership, in energy, in how you walk into a room without saying a word and get noticed anyway. So if you're the kind of man who'd rather be remembered than liked, who'd rather be respected than approved, who knows, the strongest game is played in silence, intention, and clarity. Then don't just watch. Join us, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Because in this world, you can either be part of the noise or you can be the one who rewrites the signal. And we don't just speak to the surface, we speak to the soul. Stay grounded, stay rare, and we'll see you in the